and we should be back. Before we get going, somebody in the chat let me know if that worked. How is the video now? Is it
It's looking
still
a lot better,
still
according to
lagging,
me.
or everything moving smoothly?
It's looking good to me, but I'll wait for confirmation from chat.
Cool beans. Cool beans. Sure. So while we wait for some confirmation from chat, if you're in the chat room right now and you're watching the stream, we want to know how we're looking. Is the video and sound good? And while we're waiting, I'm just going to do some little talking. Hi, my name's Joshua Barbeau. I'm our Dungeon Master. I'm joined by Zaid, Rebecca, Nick, Anita, and Colin, the cast of the Company of the Grey Wolf. This is episode 18. Episode 18, No Good Deed. If you want to...
Floppy says that we are much better.
Floppy says we're much better. That's great to hear, Floppy. If you want to support us just like Floppy does, you can become a subscriber of the stream. You can join us in our Discord chat to talk to us between episodes. You can hire me to Dungeon Master for you through DM On Demand, or you can buy my books on DM's Guild. Any of those things are a great way to support what we're trying to do here. Where were we? You know what? We were just a few minutes in. I had given a little teaser. I'm going to quickly recap that teaser, because that way I won't have to edit two pieces of video together. I'll just use this one. So, when last we had left off, our heroes had come to the small town of Olostin's Hold, happy to finally be in civilization after months of wandering in the wilderness of the High Forest. They made some new friends in the town, and perhaps also some new enemies. But unbeknownst to them, waiting outside of town in the nearby forest of Silverwood, the group of bandits that they had chased off in the previous episode were waiting and watching the town of Olson's Hold from their vantage point on the ridge that overlooked it. One of the bandits, in fact, says that they should go back into town, that the heroes are probably gone. But the other said, no, we'll wait for Bella's word. And that's when he saw it. An angel, a large angel, a diva, appearing in a flash of light above the town to give some sort of speech before vanishing to whence it came. The angel left an impression on this bandit, whose friends called him Oglin. And he turned to the others who were counting their bounty and took the coin purse abruptly from them and said, you know what's more valuable than a stolen coin purse? And he looked back at the town where he had just seen a diva appear. A group of heroes who want to do good with bleeding hearts, who can't say no to those in need. That's all we missed. We were having some technical difficulties, so we decided to reset the stream. Things seem to be going good now. If we have more issues, let us know, and we'll do what we can to fix it. We'll cut back now to the partially walled town of Olostin's Hold, where our group of adventurers were just preparing to leave on their journey once again. Where do we want to pick up? Who needs the camera pointed their way? Who's up to something good?
Are we just stepping?
I'm happy to start things off as I stagger back to where everyone else was outside. Hey guys, are we leaving? Do I have time to kind of get myself together?
What did you do?
Karsus, who is loading the carriage with a bunch of bags from town, takes one look at you and says, "Adron, why are you drunk in the middle of the day?"
I made some friends, and I learned some good things, and I think I know where we should be going next. So, if you will indulge me in my own personal quest for a bit, we were doing something. Where were we going?
Our next stop was a town you called Everland.
A pit stop merely. We're heading to Silvermoon, Adron. Do you remember?
Yeah, that's I think where I need to go. It's east?
North.
East, northeast, yes.
Okay. I think that's where I'm going. Hold on. I wrote it down. And I'm gonna check my notes because I don't remember.
At this point, Ondar stepped out of his hut. Bags are all packed again.
Yes, your hut, which the new spell you learned, which has so many ramifications. It keeps you safe from others, keeps others safe from you, and will certainly ensure that that nobody sneaks up on you and kidnaps you in your sleep to do things to you and ever again.
Good tool to have, let's be honest.
And we learn from the mistakes that were happened upon us.
Ophelia is.
East we go, and then I'm gonna collapse into the swing open the door of the wagon and just collapse inside of it.
Okay.
At this point, has Sirik left us?
No, Sirik, he tried to, but then someone talked him into coming back. He's like, well, if you're heading east, shouldn't I be going... I think Adron said I should come with you as far as Silvery Moon, but that's the opposite direction. If I need to go to Cormyr, I should go the other way, shouldn't I?
Well, at least here you can get your bearings, right?
I guess, yeah. I could take the road.
Well, I mean, go
way.
ask around in town and make sure that you're going the right way, and maybe get a map.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a map, don't you?
Do we have a map?
Just out of character, I'm the one with the map.
Somebody has a map in the party.
But we need our copy. We still are adventuring.
Yeah.
Maybe I could just have a peek at it before I leave. On my journey to Cormyr.
Know where the map
by
is.
myself. On foot.
I'll unseen servants, and it'll go to Adron and get the map out, because I had it this morning when I was looking for directions, and I'd given it back to Adron, so the unseen servant will pull it out and bring it to Sirik.
Thanks. And starts looking at the map upside down.
While that's happening, I want to try something. If I go over to Adron and I cast lesser restoration, could we count alcohol as a poison?
It sure is a poison.
Okay. Can I remove it?
Yeah, you can lesser restore his hangover away.
Yeah. So that way he can be a little more coherent.
The fantasy equivalent of Advil liquid gels.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to magic Advil him.
Yeah.
And a large glass of water. And a cold shower.
Totally water skin. Yeah, absolutely. I will cover that.
Large glass of water, cup of coffee. It's like all that rolled into one.
Yeah. Cold shower.
So yeah, I just go over, I touch his shoulder, just absorb out as much as possible, and just
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely. You can take it right out of him.
Okay.
that's so much better. Thank you so much.
Well, you're a bit off
I
in hand water.
Oh, thank you. I'll just take a swig.
Hmm.
The fellow who's giving me some information wanted me to pay him by sharing a drink or like 5 with him.
Oh, was this about the name that you recognized?
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently, an old childhood friend of mine passed through town, and I haven't seen him since I died the first time, and I'd really like to find him and find out what happened.
All right.
And apparently he was heading east, so we should go that way. And we're already planning to go northeast, so maybe that's what he meant.
Well,
I'll be honest, the guys I know, from what I could tell, the people in this town don't leave the town very much. I don't think they know which way is north or east or west.
okay, that's good, because I was going to say the priority would probably be Gunther and Undar at the moment, so I don't know if we could really track this person down at the moment.
I think what he's trying to say is it's more like in heading in that direction, we'll at least keep up with the trail. That's what I'm gathering.
Ideally. And we'll just try and keep your eyes open. If you hear anything about a gregarious tiefling or about an old man and an elf who are adventuring together, then please let me know. That would be a great help to me, personally.
All right.
And I'll wave my hand and get the map to go back to Adran.
Okay.
Did you take my map?
Sirik did. I'm getting it back for you.
Oh, Sirik. Safe travels.
Thanks. You as well. May we meet again when our paths cross.
Yeah, I understand the road along here is a lot safer. I recommend sticking to the road and try your best to be unassuming. And honestly, you're doing a great job.
Of course, yeah. Just being on a road in general must be safer than being out in the woods, right?
Probably, yeah.
It must
watch
be.
out for bandits.
Yeah, that's true. Bandits are. Whew. Well, fortunately, I don't have much to steal. As you guys are all discussing this and packing up your bags and getting ready to go, you hear horses riding up the road, and you look to see a pair of horses, galloping towards the gates of the town that you guys are just outside of. You guys can make perception checks if you'd like.
Sure would.
They're on the road?
They are on the road.
I'm not going to check. They're travelers. Who cares?
I'm not really partial to that either.
Ondar's always keeping an eye out for people who might be coming towards him, so he rolled a 6.
Okay.
9 from
5.
Ophelia.
9 from Ophelia and 3 from Gunther.
13.
13. Okay, well, Gunther sees, with his very human eyes, Gunther sees that each horse is carrying 2 occupants. And actually, there's a 5th occupant that is not on a horse, that is trailing behind them and running to try to keep up.
I'll take a short. I've just been playing catch with the dog with a little
Sure.
meat bone. Sorry, fetch with the dog. And I'm throwing it just in like progressively more difficult areas for him to get to, like underneath stuff. I just want him to get some practice finding stuff. But I'll take a look up, and I don't know if I'm next close enough to someone to tap me. I don't know if Odd's like near me, but I'll.
Sure, she is. Sure. You're all within a
Yeah.
pretty close radius of each other. Ondar obviously giving everyone a small, wide berth.
Sure. So I'll tap Odd on the shoulder and just motion over to the horses.
And
What do you think,
looking their way, you do actually see, as they get closer and closer, that it seems to be the bandits you defeated yesterday.
Fuck's sakes.
Like a friend's found us rather than us hunting them down.
Was it yesterday or was it this morning?
It was this morning.
It was this morning, sorry.
Mm.
When I say yesterday, I mean last session. It was this morning. Yeah.
To Edron, it feels like yesterday.
To Edron, it might feel like
Yeah.
yesterday.
A
But,
long day when you're day drinking.
Yes. It is lightly raining at this time, and the sun is moved past the midpoint in the sky, so it's later in the afternoon, but it is still day. And yes, they gallop up to the company, but then they slow as they approach, so they're no longer galloping. And in fact, when they get within 30 feet, one of them disembarks from the horse and starts walking up towards you.
Ondar puts a shield on.
I do the same thing.
He puts his hands up like this, and in one of them he has a coin purse that
I would recognize.
you would Rebecca Celadine would recognize.
Can I
It says,
stand? I'm just going to start.
Might
walking up
might
the-
I approach to parley?
Why?
I believe we got off on the wrong foot.
No, I think we got on the right foot.
Come now, water under the bridge. We can make bygones be bygones. He tosses the coin purse so that it lands right at Celadine's feet. He says, "It's all there.
Well,
The
what
money
about
we
that?
took," and then he takes out a second coin purse from his belt and tosses that one. And here's some interest for the trouble.
No.
We're setting out, right? That's the plan?
I'm gonna go over and I'll pick up the coin purses and check them.
Okay. The first coin purse has 15 gold in it. The second one has about 25 silver. 25 silver.
I mean, money is money, but they're up to something.
Obviously.
We have a lot to do, if you don't mind. We're just heading out, so
I just want to talk.
we don't.
You are responsible for summoning that angel, are you not?
I.
Honestly,
So-
I assume one of us is, but
Definitely not me.
What are you talking about?
What's summoning?
Come on. Can't talk like this. Let's just... I'm friends with the owner of the bar. Why don't, this one here, he points to Dron, looks to be familiar with it. Why don't we go inside and we can get to know each other better? Maybe there's something we can do to help you. And maybe there's something you can do to help us.
I truly don't think you understand our situation. We're leaving.
Yes, and I suggest you do the same, and I would like to cast suggestion.
Okay. All right. Suggestion. What's the DC? It's a charisma saving throw, wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. The DC is for Ophelia's spell save DC is 15.
Ondar's been now, his other hand's kind of just steadily touching his light crossbow.
I'm just locking up the back of the carriage, securing it.
damn, Ondar, you're shooting poison bolts these days, huh?
He rolled a 17, which beats your DC by 1 point.
2 points.
2 points. Okay. He rolled a 17, and he's gonna say,
Oh,
"Listen
actually, just
now."
1 second.
Oh, yes.
I'm fine, it was a 14.
Listen now, you're obviously very powerful. Your magic, and he gestures to Ophelia, suggesting that that he knows that you attempted to cast a spell on him. Your magic is precisely why I want to talk with you. There's nobody in this town with your capabilities. I'm sure you've seen our wall. Destroyed by
wall
giants.
is a bit of a mess right now.
Yeah. So what do you think is going to happen the next time trolls attack us from the Evermoors?
Can
In
I-
the past, when trolls have attacked, the wall is the only thing that's kept them at bay.
So build another wall. Help them. We have places to be.
We don't have the stone.
Get it. You're talking like it's our problem.
Guys, if it's not going to take us that long, we're standing here arguing. Let's just hear them out and figure out what's going on here. If all they're doing is talking, I'm sure this is fine. When has talking ever gotten anyone into trouble?
Ah,
Under just puts his hand up.
even I know that's cute from you, John.
Ophelia is counting.
But I want to go over and whisper.
You
and say,
seem more level-headed than your friends. Why don't you and I have a chat? And they can continue to prep for your departure since you're in such a hurry.
I'd be happy to. Ondar, you've touched your crossbow bolts. Be careful. Shall we chat?
Those are more than just crossbow bolts right now. Ooh.
Honor lets go of his light crossbow, leaving it kind of slung to a side. Still shield in open hand, then.
The other 4 bandits move past you, giving you guys side eyes as they take the horses into the town. And the lead one says, "By all means," and he holds his hand out, suggesting that you lead the way into the town, Adron.
Which I'll do. And much to the barkeep's surprise, I'll head back into the flaming flagon.
Of course you will.
Gunther, can you go with him?
Who did you say?
Can someone go with him?
Ondar asked if Gunther would go with him.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Sure, I'll follow him in, but before doing so, I want to just quietly ask the dog, can you remember this scent? And I'm referring to...
The dog remembers their scent and is growling at them, actually. Low growl, not
I'll move
not an
over closer
aggressive
too.
growl.
Then I'm going to scrooch the dog behind the ear and say, I'm going to need you to remember that and find it, but not yet. We're going to get them in a little while, and I will try to lead the dog towards the pub. I don't know if he's following or not.
Sure. He goes to follow, and the guards who are standing out front of the gate, they're startled, and they're like, "Whoa, is that a wolf? You have a pet wolf?"
Just a little one.
Is he friendly?
Is to me, and I will hold my hand in front of the dog's mouth, passively. Is that what you do with dogs?
Sure. The dog cautiously follows you into the town, and the guards are a little flabbergasted. They're not sure if they should stop the wolf from entering the town or not. But they don't, and one of them just says that once you're past them, calls out to you and says, just make sure that wolf doesn't get into any trouble.
Will do. And I'll the little bone that I was throwing, I will just give to the dog to keep
Sure.
to the to keep its mouth busy.
The bandit leads the way. The bandit follows Idron into the bar, and he calls the barkeep, two ales over here, and then he sits down at a table. And the blonde woman behind the bar, she nods and starts getting the drinks, and then she brings them over.
I just look at it and go, maybe just a water for me.
Suit yourself. What do they
Can I-
call you?
Can I intercept that ale? If he's not using it.
You
I'll-
sure can. You sure can.
But I'll take a seat the next table over and just
Okay.
let them watch them.
What do they call you, glowing
I-
man?
Adron Single Arrow,
Drawn Single Arrow. Well,
traitor in the Lord's Alliance.
Huh, the Lord's Alliance.
Yep.
You'll find that their reach doesn't extend quite all the way out here. Not
I
anymore,
know.
anyway.
I used to come trade this far up the road, but not so much anymore.
Oglin Hartshorn is my name. And he puts out his hand.
I will shake it.
I hope you can forgive our little misunderstanding earlier today.
I mean, I don't think there was much to misunderstand. You were swindling us,
Yeah.
and I guess everyone's got to make a living, and as long as you're not taking more than people can pay, can't really fault you for it that much. Different methods from me, but at least I give people something in exchange for the money I take.
Yes, well, the people of Oglin's Hold are desperate. I don't know how much time you've spent here, if you've bothered to get to know anyone, but...
Oh, I definitely got to know somebody. Hey, Derek, you still here?
you look around and you don't see him. He's not... he doesn't seem to still be here.
I got friends here. It's fine.
Well then, you who have friends here, of all people, shouldn't want to see the town overrun by rampaging trolls from the Evermoors.
Yeah, that hole in your wall is pretty big. I don't know where the stone came from originally, and I'm not really sure how you think we're going to be able to help patch it up.
Well, I don't know exactly how magic works. But I know if you have the power to summon an angel from the heavens themselves, that summoning a bunch of stones so we can fix our own wall can't be that hard.
So you're the one who just said you don't know how magic works.
I don't, but I imagine that angel summoning is a lot harder to do than stone summoning.
Well, the thing is, I also don't know how magic works. And sometimes angelic beings just kind of appear and talk to me. That's just kind of how this goes. I don't control it.
Listen,
So I don't know how you expect us to help.
I don't know what it's like to be an adventurer. I'm just a humble thief. I'm doing for my town what I can with my skills. I imagine if I can raise funds to try to pay the dwarves to make us a new wall, then what you can do with all your means must be a lot more. At the rate that we're going, it's gonna take us another 3 months to raise enough money to hire someone to to pay for dwarves to send shipments of stone down from their mithril hall.
Wait.
I imagine you can do it in half the time with your powers.
I've got a solution for you, my friend. You
What's
may not
that?
know it. To look at us, but we're friends with a certain dwarf named Brunor Battlehammer.
Never heard of him.
He is, I believe, the Dwarven King of Mithril Hall.
Is he?
Yes. Well, he's not there right now. If you drop his name, you might be able to get yourself a better deal. You might have enough money right now.
Having finished my drink, can I just nod to Edron? Like this, he seems to have a handle on this. I'm gonna nod to Edron, take the dog outside, and begin the process of trying to find the other couple of bandits.
Sure.
Just in the background.
Yeah, sure. No worries. You expect us to march over to Mithril Hall, tell them that a friend of their king stopped by for a day, and he said it would be all right if they shortchanged us, or if we got their stone for cheap.
I mean,
And that's gonna work.
when you put it that way, it sounds like a bad idea.
How should I be putting it?
Well,
You have to understand, Mr. Single Arrow.
I didn't give you my last name.
Yes, you did, actually.
I did?
You sure
Well,
did.
That was...
You have to understand,
Good for
Mr.
me.
Single Arrow. Yeah. We're doing whatever we can to be ready for the next time the trolls attack. Now, living as neighbors to the Evermore Swamp has never been a great place to live, but with a wall up, at least we had protection. And the trolls, their attacks have been getting more and more numerous. In fact, the Calling Horn Tavern at the place where the Evermore meets the Bundar's Pass, he says, not checking a map at all. I heard it was overrun by trolls.
Trolls are vicious.
They've always been vicious, but something is riling them up. I think someone said that there are fire giants in the Evermore Swamp that is chasing the trolls out.
The giants have been
And
a
where do you
problem in a
think
lot of
they're going
places.
to go once they've been chased out of their swamp? They're gonna come here. If I go on a 2-month trip to Mithril Hall, and if I manage to drop some names that get them to give us their stone, and do all of that, assuming it all works out exactly as you've suggested, I could still come back with the stone to find Olostin's hold no longer exists.
Have you thought about wood?
Wood.
You're near a forest. You could rebuild with wood. The material's right here. It's not going to hold for as long, but there's some pretty big trees out there. Have you been to the high forest? There's a lot of trees. And I get the feeling
We're
you're
not
gonna be able
allowed to
find
cut trees from the high forest. The elves don't like it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I can
silverwood,
picture that.
silverwood is protected by other creatures.
What kinds of creatures? That might be an area we can help with.
Mayhaps. Mayhaps. The, well, the silverwood. The silverwood, we can definitely cut some of the trees down in the silverwood. As long as we aren't too aggressive in destroying nature's territory. But, troll claws. Those things are sharp. I don't know that a wooden wall will hold them. Still, your
feel
suggestion
like-
has merit.
If you expect me to be able to summon you some stone, I'm sorry I can't help, but listen. Thanks for giving us back our gold. We're on an important mission to try to deal with the giants to a certain extent, he says, knowing that this is not entirely the case. We're trying to deal with the giants to a certain extent. Maybe that'll stop the troll problem. You don't need to give us back the interest, and still having both coin purses, I give them back the silver. But I don't know how else we can help.
I see. Of course. You are adventurers after all. You have your own problems. We're just simple townsfolk. I'm sure dealing with living next door to a bunch of trolls is not something that the likes of you needs to worry about. Always on the road, never settling down anywhere. You don't have to be afraid of your city being destroyed while you're out working. Coming home to find it's been torn apart and everyone you love is either dead or gone.
Well, I don't have to be afraid of that anymore because it's already happened. My friend, I am from Red Larch. There's almost nothing left. The giants overran it, and I don't know what else to do but try and stop them. And if I can stop the giants, maybe it'll stop your troll problem too.
No one can stop the giants. Even the Lord's Alliance can't stop the giants.
There's another frost giant who had an idea about trying to stop the giants. We're hoping to check in on what happened with that up in Silvery Moon.
Well, if you really can't help us, then I guess there's nothing left to talk about. He reaches forward and grabs the pouch of silver coins from the table, tosses it in his hand a couple times, says, "You know what? Keep it." He puts it back on the table and says, "A gift from your friends at Olostin's Hold. Maybe you and your powerful adventurers will find time on your busy journey to deal with the giants to come back and pay us a visit again. And hopefully, we're still here when you do."
Hey, Everland protects this road generally, right? Maybe when I get to Everland, I can...
Everland protects this road. Everland protects this road. So that's what you think happens. Ah!
Well, they used to.
Oh, they used to, yes. Everland also used to be a member of the Lord's Alliance. Now, Everland's at war with itself. Haven't you heard? Where have you been hiding?
We were in the high forest from...
Everland's split down the middle between those who are adamant about leaving the Lord's Alliance was a good idea, and those who blame the decision makers for the loss of their loved ones ever since Everland was attacked. I don't know.
Attacked by what?
Giants, of course.
It's always the freaking giants.
I don't know that had they stayed in the Lord's Alliance, the Lord's Alliance would have been able to help them. After all, Lord's Alliance lost its most precious food-making hub. So, if they couldn't protect that, they certainly couldn't protect Everland. But the people of Everland seem to think that if they had stayed in the Lord's Alliance, they would have been protected. Which is pretty dumb, considering the Lord's Alliance didn't protect the Silver Marshes from the orc raids a few years back, and that's why Everland left the Lord's Alliance. Politics. It's not my strong suit. I don't pretend to understand. To me, it's simple. You take care of your own. You don't count on some foreign nation to protect you when the trolls and giants and orcs come.
I wish we could help. I really do. And maybe as we pass through Everland, we can find a way to settle things down there, and they can send some help here. If it's been overrun by giants, I'm sure some people will need a place to stay, and some of those people might be masons. But
no, it wasn't overrun by giants. They actually fended off the giant attack. They have a functioning wall, after all. They're farmers who live outside the city wall, on the other hand. No, there are not too many of those left, I hear. But I wish you luck on your journey, Mr. Single Arrow. Nonetheless.
I'm gonna take out 2 gold from the coin pouch. Toss it into the pouch of silver. And say, seriously, seems like you need this more than we do. We're adventurers. We'll find other things on our adventures. If you're trying to protect the people here, that means something. And I hand it to him.
He nods. If you really are talking with angels and gods and things, put in a good word for Olostin's hold.
They talk at us. They don't talk with us. In the end, us mortals just gotta fend for ourselves.
Well, that fills me with hope. What god do you worship again?
Used to be Joaquin. But,
Don't hear many people talking about that one these days, what with the roads being as dangerous as they are.
yeah, Lathander kind of was the one who decided to put me to work, and...
The Lightbringer, god of dawn and
Yep.
hope for a new and better tomorrow.
Yeah.
You certainly don't strike me as Lathander's type.
Yeah, I was chosen. That's not so much the case anymore. I don't recommend getting into God's bad graces.
I live in Olostin's hold. I don't even think any of the gods know this place exists.
A couple of divas may have just proven you wrong.
True enough. True enough. And he
I
takes
stand
a
up.
big sip from his mug of ale.
I stand up and I reach out to shake his hand and say, if there's any message you want to pass along going northeast, if there's anything we can do on the road and on the way. Yes, it's important to try to save the world, but it's also important to try to save people, or there's nothing left to save.
That's true, but no, I don't have any message for those people. Like I said, they're not interested in me, even if they pretend to be. I take care of my own. He shakes your hand anyway. Good luck.
You too. Then I head out.
Meanwhile, outside, Gunther does find the other bandits, and he sees they're happy to be reunited with the one that you turned over to the constable of the town a short while ago. It seems he's already been released, and they're just kind of like talking to each other and happy to see each other. The dog, the wolf, growls but keeps its distance.
How far away from the tavern am I now? Am I like, are they really far away, or?
Oh, no more than 100 feet.
Okay. Do I have line of sight with the tavern?
Sure.
Then I will just periodically. I'll find, I don't know, a wall to lean against. I will take out from my bag the second nice cut of meat and just drop it down in front of the wolf so that he can have a nice meal. And I'm just going to keep an eye on these guys and periodically look back at the entrance of the tavern to see if Edron comes out.
Eventually, after not too long, Edron does emerge from the tavern.
Okay.
He looks, well, Colin could probably describe it better than I can, but I would think he looks a little dejected. Downtrodden.
Okay. I will take one last look at the bandits, who I assume are just dicking around and not doing much. And I will scrooch the dog and walk slowly back towards my friend Edron and ask him to catch me up on what they talked about. Everything go in there?
In short, this place is in rough shape since the wall went down and the troll attacks haven't stopped. I mean, it wasn't the best wall. It obviously couldn't keep out the giants, but it kept out the trolls pretty well, and now it's not doing that. They thought that magic could help. I don't know what more we can do. I suggested for now, build something out of wood. It's better than nothing, but they don't have the stone or the stone workers in the area to really fix it. And I don't know if we can send word up north. We convinced some of the dwarves to help Brinchander. Maybe we can convince them to have a wall fixing team to go around and help. But
look, we're heading to a larger settlement than this. When we get there, there will be some human being who will see profit in creating a wall for these people. We convince them to help and make some money off it.
We gotta hope. And they'll make some money, but apparently the part of the reason they're being bandits is they're trying to get the money for the wall somehow. I doubt they're giving it all over, but obviously it doesn't help much to have to be the local bandits in the town raiding the passersby if the town doesn't exist anymore.
We're spending time thinking about solving the problems that someone else is better suited to do. Edron, if I've learned one thing about human beings, it's that someone has already thought of a way to make money off this.
Yeah, that someone's me. I know how to make money off this. I just don't have the time.
Rather than to someone nearby with the time and the inclination. And my friend, that's not us. We ourselves have bigger problems to solve.
I guess you're right.
We happen to wander through this town. There are 100 other towns just like this with an identical problem, and we cannot solve this one just because we happen to wander through it. Now,
Still, we should get the word out as we move, as we travel. Let's let people know that if they want to have a tavern and an inn to stop at, as they pass along the edge of the high forest, if the town wall isn't built back up, they won't have anywhere to stay.
it's true. But, like us, when they get desperate, they move to Everland. Or they move to another town that still has its wall. You can't save everyone. Unless, of course, this friend of yours we're looking for happens to be a stonemason.
I don't think so. He's more like me than I care to admit.
You could do a lot worse than being like you. Surely finds the rest of them.
Yeah, let's go.
As the rest of you have already prepared the cart and horses, including the 2 new horses that you've acquired in town, Idron, Gunther, and Wolf Pup emerge from the town.
How'd it go?
Could have gone better. There's no fighting. I gave them some of the money. It seems like their methods might be wrong, but their heart's more or less in the right place.
Are they though? Because you're close enough.
Yeah, but I was focused on other things, he says. And he glances at Ondar.
I will look down at the big, spear hole in my shirt. Like the big, fucking bloody part where I got stabbed by one of these guys.
There's no other hiccups, shall we?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, we gotta stay moving, or we're gonna get caught up in doing something to help these people, which, well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe the next adventurers can do it.
We have more than
Maybe.
enough to carry about. Let's just go.
All right.
In
How long
fact,
were they gone for?
sorry, they were gone for maybe half an hour.
Half an hour. Okay. Cool.
In fact, if you, watching this, would like to be the next band of adventurers that comes by when the company of the Grey Wolf is not present to save the day, you can do so if you're subscribed to our channel at level 2 or above, tier 2 or above. That lets you control the fates of NPCs, including other bands of NPC adventurers in our ongoing plot. So you guys pack up and you head out? Idron, as you're packing up and heading out, you notice that Sirik is gone. He told the others while you guys were in town. He says, "Well, if you're heading northeast, I should head, according to the map that he had just looked at, I should head the other direction." Apparently, he said to them before he left that there is a big inn called the Calling Horns along the Evermore Way. That's just a couple of days west of here, and that's as good a place as any to make his next pit stop before he turns south. You guys can relay that to Idron, and then a light bulb might go off in his head, and he remembers that Oglin, the guy he was just talking to, mentioned something about trolls overrunning Calling Horns. But
I do know this, but this time he's already gone and I can't stop him.
sure is.
So why trouble other people with my worries?
Of course.
Run down the road again right after him.
Idron doesn't mention
Second
it.
time.
Idron doesn't mention it. He keeps it to himself. So you guys start heading east, and you're not gone for very long. You're gone for 10 minutes before you hear someone calling behind you, "Wait! Wait!" And you turn back over your shoulder to see Bella running after you with a little girl in her arms. Get stop, or do you keep going?
Ugh, it's worse than when I tried to go to bed last night.
If I'm driving, I'll slow the horses, but not stop them. Take them from like, a standard
course.
trot to like a gentle walk.
Sure thing.
I'll still make sure Ondar's pulled 30 feet away just to keep distance.
Bella, with a huff, catches up and she says, I need to speak to Adran.
To me? Why?
You're the one that talked at length to her.
What I'm here. What can I help you with?
She says, I've thought about what you've said. You said something about finding better methods or making a better life for myself or starting anew.
That was
Yeah,
me.
Oh, that was, sorry. I got mixed up. Then she's calling for Ophelia. Ophelia said that.
Great, because I was gonna say that doesn't sound like something I would say.
Sorry, my bad. I know somebody said that, but I thought it was Adran, but it was Ophelia. Ophelia, wait, Ophelia. You said starting a whole new life. It's an opportunity to change things, not go down a dark path. And then, well, I mean, I was gonna just take that as with a grain of salt as advice goes, but then that angel appeared over town and called me out by name and basically repeated exactly what you said. And I knew it was a sign that I needed to make a change, that if me and my daughter keeps living in this town, we'll be dead. Or worse.
I did say that, didn't I? Well,
The god of knowledge sent his representative and for whatever reason called out to me and said I needed to do something to change my life, something radical. And he opened my eyes. And I realized that it wasn't just my life on the line, but my daughter's. And to have you, these adventurers, appear in town and tell me to change, the same day that an angel appears and tells me to do the same, it's a sign, don't you see? I need to come with you guys. If there's room for me on your carriage, I can't stay here.
we can. I'll ask the rest of them if it's okay. We're going to Everland and then Silvery Moon.
Ondar flicks his hand again, and his still active unseen servant will pull a clean, untouched scroll from his saddlebags, drift it over to her, and he'll say, "Can you read this?" and see if she can prove her skill with reading and perhaps comprehension.
She looks at the scroll. What kind of scroll is it?
It's his rendition of the Court of the Silver Rose.
Oh. She looks at it and she says, "Yes, I can read."
It is definitely some kind of sign, and she'll look directly at Ondar.
If the God of Knowledge spoke to you, or his representative, then perhaps...
He repeated almost exactly Ophelia's words. That was a sign. He was telling me that I needed to follow in your footsteps. That you were the change that I needed to make. To save my life from whatever is coming. Whatever fate the rest of these people in Olostin's hold are going to face.
Well, it's
I
dangerous.
don't want to be a thief. I don't want my daughter to grow up to be a thief, if she grows up at all.
Well, with the rest of you, what do you think? Should we take her to Silvery Moon or Everland?
We
I
can
mean, we didn't
escort
just
them.
lose somebody on the cart. We can have another person on the cart. We've done it before.
And that that vestment I gave you, when we get to town, you can sell it. It will give you a good amount of money, perhaps to get a place.
Yes, Everland, it still has its wall intact, and
It does.
I mean, it's controlled by the Harpers, and I really don't like them, but you know what? Maybe I can put aside my distaste for them in order to build the better life that I need to build.
Fresh starts aren't a bad thing.
I will look at her and just say, we can escort you and we can do the best that we can, but we can't guarantee anything.
I don't need a guarantee from you. I got it from the God of Knowledge himself.
Well, then you're welcome to follow.
She thanks you.
I'll open the door to the carriage and I'll say, if you want to ride inside, it's a lot safer than being outside and exposed in the rain.
She nods and she climbs in.
Make sure the little one doesn't catch cold.
Thank you.
Can I send or can I suggest to the dog maybe the little girl would want to play with you, and send the dog in to play with the girl, but also keep an eye on them just to see what they're
Sure.
up to.
Sure.
How long were we in town?
You were in town probably most of the day. You were planning on only being in town for the morning so that you had enough time to get to Everland before it was dark, but you did get sidetracked a little bit, what with the Dron's drinking and then the bandits coming back, and then...
I know I didn't state this specifically in the downtime or the in-character chat, but would Ophelia have had like an hour and 10 minutes to herself?
Sure.
Okay. Sounds good.
No worries. So you continue on your path east along the Evermore Way, northeast. It winds north and goes right between the narrowest point of Silverwood and the High Forest. And then after it crosses the narrowest point of the two woods, it opens up to reveal fields of farmsteads, just like almost constant farm after farm after farm after farm, lined in rows, leading all the way up to the walled town of Everland, which is in the distance. Yes.
Just as a point of order, kind of like for noticing, did Bella and the daughter have bags? Like, did they pack?
They packed light. She had one bag.
Okay.
One big bag that she had on her back, but she was carrying her daughter.
Right.
So
Just wanted to establish that. Okay.
they packed light. They didn't have a lot of things to begin with. But yes, as you cross the point at which the Silverwood and the High Forest are narrowest, on the other side is constant farmsteads. But you see many of these farmsteads look to be, at this point in time, it's the spring. This is the earliest point of the, this is the earliest. Well, it's late spring right now, right? It's an early point in a typical farm cycle. These farmsteads should be blooming with their crops and whatnot, but a lot of them, at least this far out from Everland, look dead. In fact, some of them are burning. Many of them look trampled or destroyed or ripped asunder. And as you continue to march down the road, you see on the side of the road what at first you think is a scarecrow. But as you come up to it, you can see that it is a still breathing troll attached to some sort of post. His arms have been lopped off at the shoulders, and his legs at the knees. So he's just this torso with these stumped limbs, and he's hanging from this post. He's still breathing, wheezing, and bleeding, but there's a brazier of fire set up beneath him, so that it's just burning his chest at a constant ratio. And in what you think is written in blood, it says, "Trolls keep out." Not that trolls can probably read the sign.
Can I just
It might get
sacred
its
flame it
meaning.
out of its misery? Can I just... God.
Well, worth the same amount of XP, right?
Right? Can we hit it? Sure. Yeah. No, seriously, like, this
Yeah.
is so revolting. Can I just...
It is
shoot
kind of
the thing?
revolting. It should be revolting. It's quite disturbing. Saladin immediately sacred flames it out of its misery. Karsus calls back to Bella and says, keep the little one inside, and don't tell her not to look outside.
Yeah, play with the dog.
Play with the dog. Karsus, who I'm going to say at this point, is sitting on the front of the on the carriage with a bit of magic shielding him and Adron from the rain. Almost like a tensor's floating disc, kind of just hovering above you two as you march, so that it shields you from the rain. He says to Adron, this problem that they were talking about, trolls and giants and stuff.
Seems kind of far-reaching, doesn't it?
I feel like things were things this bad when you entered the High Forest?
The giants were causing problems, but the trolls are... This is new. I've forgotten his name now. If the bandit that I was talking to...
Oglin.
If Oglin's to be believed, the giants are driving the trolls out of the swamp. And I don't know why they would be doing that, but it's pushing them into places where they generally haven't been, at least not in any numbers before. This is concerning, to say the least.
We're gonna have to keep our guard up as we get as we keep going. I got a bad feeling about all of this.
Do any of the farmsteads look familiar to Ophelia?
No.
Okay.
No. Not immediately around here anyway. This is as good a place as any for us to take our 5-minute break. So we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna stretch our legs, refresh our drinks, get a bite to eat if we need to, do a bio. You should all do the same, because sitting in one place for too long, even if it is watching your favorite Dungeons and Dragons weekly stream, or us, is not good for your health. Get up, stretch, get the blood flowing. We'll be right back with more Dungeons and Dragons when we come back. And we're back. Thanks for waiting for us. That was a much needed little breather. We're back from the break, and we'll pick up right where we left off. You guys had just killed a troll that was set up as a warning for other trolls not to come this way.
So lots of XP for everybody, right?
Not quite.
Sullian soloed it. He's got to be worth something. Single-handedly.
All mine. My XP.
So, you guys press on towards Everland. As you continue down the path past where you encountered the troll warning post, you see more of the same. Farmsteads that look devastated by attacks from trolls and giants, perhaps, and who knows what else. We chopping? Are we choppy? Really choppy? How's the lag doing, folks? We were dealing with some issues earlier at the start of the stream. We seem to have fixed it, but is it back?
We're just a little bit laggy. It seems like we're every. Well, now it's on a bit of a. It's just like it's kind of just herky jerky. How are we looking, chat? Are we okay, or are we good to go, or do you think we should try pausing for a sec?
Who is this man?
Karis is just playing around with the emojis.
Of course she is. I don't know who that man is, but he's in a lot of emojis. That's for sure. Video seems laggy, yeah, according to Vampire Girl. Audio is once again fine. It's just something with our video.
This keeps happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Was the video good throughout the first half and that just started lagging again now, or was it choppy all along? Because if it was choppy all along, I don't think restarting is going to fix anything.
It was good through the entire first half. It was just when we came back from break.
Okay.
All right. To my, at least from what I'm seeing.
Okie dokie. In that case, we'll try restarting the stream again. I'm treating this as a very good podcast. Audio is fine. Video is paused. Yeah.
Oh, actually, it looks like we've caught up.
Have we caught up?
Yeah, we've caught up. Okay. Yeah, it just took a couple seconds.
Okay, well...
But Karis is still having problems.
Of course.
Apologies.
Karis is... It seemed good whenever I checked in. It was mostly alt-tabbed, though. Okay, I see. Good until you came back. Okay, well, we're gonna keep going like this.
It's starting to smooth out according to Poppy, though, so we're good.
It's starting to smooth out. That's good. Maybe it was just the switching scenes from the Be Right Back screen to this screen that somehow screwed with it. But we're going to keep going. As you guys progress through the farmsteads, you can see the devastation that was wrought. Many of the farms are no more. Those that seem to still be standing are their crops don't. As you press on, you do eventually see some farms that are that seem to have escaped the carnage. One or two farms where the people are still present. You see like an old man and his family trying to repair a destroyed cart. You see another family that are trying their best to get their sheep to go back in their pen. What sheep they have left that haven't escaped. But yeah, everyone seems to be in poorly off or in recovery mode.
Do any of them look hurt?
Make a perception check. Or an insight check. Whichever you're better at.
Well, it's a 13. but my pages decided to reload on D&D Beyond, so I can't tell you what I'd be adding to that.
That's okay. 13 is enough to say that yeah, some of them are hurting. Some of them look like they have injuries sustained from recent battles or recent wounds, and they don't look too hot. But they're doing what they have to do to get their farmstead back up and running, ignoring the pain.
Any of them look
60 feet?
Passing within 60 feet? No, I wouldn't say that they're within 60 feet of the road necessarily.
If any of them look grievously injured, I will actually hand the reins over to Karsus briefly so I can jump down and go healing word them.
As you hand the reins to Karsus grabs you by the arm and shoves the reins back into your hands and says, "If we stop to heal every person with an injury, it's just going to be Olostin's hold all over again."
I'm not going to just let people die, but I can't... These people look hurt but not dying. I guess you're right. And I'll take the reins and I'll keep going.
Okay. They stop what they're doing and they look up at you as you pass. It seems like a brief glimpse of hope washes over their faces, and then when they see you, and then when they realize you're not slowing down, the hope is gone. As you keep going, you start to get, you see up ahead the walled town, the walled city of Everland. You've been here before, but things have changed. It used to be surrounded by peaceful farms on all sides, and now most of those farms have been ravaged. You see armed guards patrolling the top of the wall, all equipped with like longbows and looking for any sight of trolls or giants or whatever approaching on the horizon. You also see places in the wall where, there's cracks or damage to the wall, as if the wall itself was attacked, but it has held. And furthermore, just outside the wall, you see more of these guards throwing cut up pieces of giant into a pile that is on fire. Giants are, of course, very big, so it's just like, here's a head, here's an arm.
So I imagine it smells.
Oh, it smells disgusting. They also have cut up pieces of troll that are slowly growing back, but they're throwing those on the fire as well.
Undar, better get that harp ready.
Harp? Or hut, did you say?
I said harp.
Is there a performance?
I think maybe some of you fellows who harp might be around here. This might be our best chance to make contact with some.
I'm not going inside. I'm not making contact here.
Any passphrases or call signs or anything we could do while we're making a pit stop? Maybe we could find someone, send word ahead to Silver Moon.
Nothing that wouldn't be faster than us.
Fair enough.
Karsus is gonna shout back and says, "What is the plan for Ondar anyway?"
You told me I'll wait outside.
Yes, but if we're going through Everland,
Then I go around.
I don't think that's a good option, buddy. I call back.
Maybe we put you inside the cart. and take the girls out.
Or just
Protective
have-
ring of non-humans.
You would know both of
Human.
all three of you, Ondar, Gunther, and Dron would know that the Raven River runs through Everland, and you need to get to the other side of that river, and the only bridges are in the city, not outside of the city. So unless Ondar plans to swim across the river or take a boat across the river, he needs to go through the city.
I think we just make him look like the fat man. We put him on a horse and
Make sure he doesn't get touched.
I'm wearing my gloves.
suit up.
Suit up.
The old fat man gambit. Works every
Um,
time.
So far, it
Saladin,
has.
I think I would assume Saladin and I are on the. Who's on the horses currently? I think I would be on one horse, maybe, because I've got a decent animal handling.
Sure.
Would
Yeah,
Saladin be on the other?
Sure.
Saladin, would you mind maybe we flank him on either side so that way people don't approach him, they approach us?
Absolutely.
All right. That
And
makes
if
most
people
sense.
approach me and I don't want them to, remember I can always make them run away.
That's something as well. But better safe than sorry. Backups upon backups.
Indeed. And our reach up to where he
Contingencies.
has his wooden mask and he'll slide it down and his form will shift into the fat man.
What time of night is it? Because I assume it's nighttime by now.
Yes, it is. It is night, but it's the middle of the night, but the moon is full, which is shedding dim light, and then at several of the points along the wall, there's these large fires, almost like signal fires, that are just shedding bright light for a good 90 feet around that point in the wall. And of course, there's the large burning pile of giant and troll corpses. There's also shedding bright light for a good 90 feet, if not more. So there's plenty of sources of light, despite it being night.
I would look to whoever's closest and just as a group really address everybody and just say, wouldn't it be smarter to sleep here for the night?
Rather than push through.
We could just leave in the morning.
And I mean, if
There's more traffic during the day. If we're going to go through the city, let's get to the other side and camp on the other side tonight.
Will we be safe out there?
should we drop off Bella and her daughter?
We probably should drop them off in town, not outside the walls.
Probably best. Find an inn and then drop them off there, and then keep moving.
As long as we think it's safe to camp outside.
We should be
just
safe outside.
We'll be just outside the city. We'll have the
They're
guards on the
burning
walls
huge
keep an eye out for
giant
us.
bodies. It's not alarming anybody else.
Well,
Yeah.
clearly the giants have come
I
through
mean-
here and been taken care of.
Yes, it is alarming.
Okay.
Ophelia points to the fact that she's turned blue.
Quite.
No, it's just remembering facing a frost giant going.
Do we really want to risk that they won't be roaming at nighttime?
We'll be just outside the gates, just outside the walls. Anything happens, we run towards the walls. We have cover from the locals.
All right.
And frankly, I'm fine with you being inside and I'm in my hut out. And nothing can touch me. You join me in the morning.
Whatever, as long as we're safe, that's all I care about.
That's a fair point.
We're finding the inn anyway for the mother and the child. Grab a couple hours sleep, leave as early as we can this morning.
Probably
As
best.
we approach the wall, I call up to one of the archers up top and say, "You gonna be keeping watch all night?"
The archers on the wall, one of them looks down and says, 24/7. Or I guess that's not a saying in the Forgotten Realms. Yes, all night.
You're doing good work, and we appreciate you.
One of the guards on the ground, who's partaking in the throwing corpses on the fire, or pieces of corpses on the fire, takes off his gloves and walks over to your group, sniffs, wipes his nose, says, you guys, you're not from around here, are you?
No, just travelers passing through on our way to Silvery Moon.
It's been a while since we've had travelers come out from the Evermore Way.
Yeah.
I heard the Evermore Way was no longer passable.
We kind of came out of the High Forest.
You come from the High Forest. In that thing? He points to the iron dwarven war carriage that you guys are driving in. I don't believe it.
Because of that, we made it through the High Forest. Look at that thing.
Huh. Well, what business do you have in Everland?
Passing through to Silver Moon. We said that.
Right, passing through. I see. He looks over at the other guards that are still piling things onto the fire, and the guards up on the wall. He says, "Now's not really the best time to be passing through Everland."
There's never really a good time on this road, is there?
Not these days. Not
Seem
these
to have
days.
done a good job with those giants.
We do what we can.
Congrats, better than many towns.
Yeah, well, we only had a few giants come this way. It was mostly trolls being chased by the giants.
Well, maybe we can join teams with the trolls and finally take them down.
Join teams with trolls. That's rich. That's funny.
Thank you. I'm here all night.
Alright, well, I guess if I can't talk you out of it, I gotta let you guys in, don't I?
Unless you know another way to get a wagon like this thing across the river.
Nope. There's only 2 bridges. And they're both inside the city walls. Well, if you head straight through this gate, you'll get to the night bridge. That'll take you to the other side. I don't know if you're planning on spending the night in town or not. Or if you just...
we just
heading
might be.
through.
Where's the closest inn?
Oh, well, we got several inns, but, let's see.
Actually, I should probably ask, where's the closest to the other side of town?
The closest inn on the other side of town?
Yeah, because we're just heading straight through. Might as well just get as far as we can before we have to bed down for the night.
Well, you guys look like adventurers. You probably would want a place that's, let's say, safer, unbiased.
A little bit, yeah?
I'd recommend right now to go to Daniver's house, then.
Daniver's house?
Yeah. It's kind of like a mansion that was turned into an inn for wealthy folk and or adventurers like yourselves.
Fair enough. Thank you for that.
It's right on the river. Once you get across the bridge, you turn left and you follow the river until you get to the patch of green, and it's on the edge of the parks. There's parks there, and it's on the edge of the parks.
I turn to
Sense.
Karsus and say, "Hey, finally some accommodations up to your standards."
He smiles and says, be nice to have a proper bed.
Thank you for your time. What was your name again?
My name? Gulliver.
Thank you, Gulliver.
Fred Gulliver.
Safe travels.
You as well. And, watch out for yourselves in there. And he opens the gate, the south gate, the bridge gate it's called, to Everland. What's the situation with Nick? Is he going in with you, with his fat man suit?
We're flanking him with the horses, yeah.
Horse. He's not on a horse, or he is on a horse?
I'm on Furia.
You're on Furia in your fat man suit, being flanked by two others on horses. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. As you enter the town, you can see immediately that things ain't looking so hot. There's all kinds of people in the streets. They look homeless. Refugees from outside, from the farms, no doubt. You don't have enough hostels and places to put them up. Some of them are gathered in alleys with small fires that they're standing around, and others are just standing outside bars and taverns that have just closed, having been kicked out. This side of town wasn't exactly a slum, but it certainly has been kind of turned into one by the influx of farmers and stuff that have been put out of a home. They all kind of eye you suspiciously as you enter the town, but none of them approach or speak up. Karsus says something about, he whispers something to Drod, saying, "Yeah, let's not linger too long. Let's get to the other side of town."
I agree. This might not be the best place to leave a mother and her young child either. Maybe we should recommend they come all the way up to Silvery Moon with us.
Maybe, yeah.
We give them the option. If they wish to stay here, they can stay here. If they wish to continue on to Silvery Moon, we're heading there anyway, yeah?
Giving people options is good. I don't want to make a decision for anyone, and this is closer to our hometown.
Yeah. Let them sleep on it. See in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to bother staying at the inn?
I don't think we bother staying at the inn. Although, if we want to drop people off, I'm not going to bother staying at the inn.
I'll go back and I'll talk to them, to the Davan. I'll just, oh wait, I'm flanking. No,
but Ondar and I will, Ondar will go between the carriage, and I'll go on the other side of Ondar, so that he can whip around.
Sure.
Okay. Are the doors reachable? Can I just knock or open?
Yeah,
or...
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Cool. I get the door open and talk to them and just say, listen, Evelyn is looking a little heavy with the refugees. We can either drop you off at an inn, or if you want to continue onto Silvery Moon with us, we can at least get you there. Would that be better for you, or would you like to stay here?
I ain't never been to Silvery Moon. Of course, I've heard about it. It's not that far, but I haven't really traveled much in my life. What do you think? I kind of am following. I'm kind of doing this is kind of a crazy thing for me to just uproot myself and my daughter just on a whim. Follow you guys, but I do believe that that it was a sign that I should follow you. So if you think Silvery Moon is best, then I'll take that as a sign too that you know what's best.
Not only would it be safer, but you would have more prospects for finding work. So I think that would be the safest place for you to be.
Then Silvery Moon it is.
All right. Then I'll go back around and let everybody know. We'll just go through and we'll camp outside for the night.
Okay.
Maybe we'll camp out a little bit of a distance from town, just in case. I don't know.
I'd feel more comfortable closer to town.
You think closer to the wall?
If they've got archers, they're going to be able to give us the warning if anything happens, and we can all get a night's sleep.
Look, sure, there'll be an inn inside the walls very close to the gates that we're going to exit through. If we're going to camp, why not take advantage of staying inside? Particularly this all the extra desperate people inside the town.
Well, all of the extra desperate people are, for the most part, on the southern side of the river. So it's actually a point of contention right now. But
but the guards suggested the other place that he said was for adventurers. I mean, that we could at least.
And that was probably a place that was kept out of the politics of the city. And it was on the other side of the river as well.
Honestly, doesn't that sound safe?
In fact, I am going to stay at the inn tonight. We've got a couple of reasons for being there.
If we're going to stay the night, we might as well inside some walls. If we wished to just press through the night and continue on, that would be another matter. But I think just looking around, I think we could all use at least a few hours of sleep, proper sleep.
We don't need to exhaust ourselves.
Of course.
Information gathering, Adron?
Information gathering, but also, look at this place. If our gold can help the local economy, I'd be happy to spend it.
Always want to support local business.
Spread hope to the hopeless. That's like one of Lathander's tenets,
Yeah. Continue the progress of trade. That's one of Joaquin's.
Absolutely. You can revere both your gods at the same time. As you guys march along the main road towards the large arched night bridge, night with a K, you come up to a small barricade of people that are that have linked arms and are kind of blocking the road to the bridge. Karsus whispers again for the second time this episode, "I have a really bad feeling about this."
Are these looking like refugees or are these looking like locals?
It's looking like locals, refugees, maybe a mix. It's hard to say. It's people.
Can I?
One of them steps forward and says, "You don't want to go this way, friend."
Do you have another way to Silvery Moon that we can take?
You're going to Silvery Moon, eh? You're better off turning back at this point.
Why is that?
That's not a good idea for travelers to be here right now.
That's why we're trying to get through as quickly as possible. You just, we're out of your hair.
He looks back at the group of people blocking the bridge, and he looks back past them to the bridge. Takes a deep breath, and he looks up at the sky, and looks back at you guys and says, "It's can't let you across the bridge right now."
And just why is that?
Well, and as he's about to explain, there's a large explosion, and the bridge explodes. As fire and brimstone and stone and bricks fly out as the bridge crumbles into the river. The group of people that had been blocking your way immediately unlink arms, and one of them shouts, "Quick! The guards will be here soon," and then they kind of scatter. One of them shouts "scatter," and they scatter like mice, running into various different streets. Your way is now unblocked, but the night bridge, is no more. It seems like it's been blown up by anarchists.
I'm immediately hopping out of the carriage, and I want to look down or upriver towards the other bridge to see if that one is being blown up as well.
Well, the river from here, looking upriver towards the other bridge, the river bends through town, so you can't quite see the other bridge from this angle. The other bridge is maybe 700 feet up around a bend.
But I'm at least not.
But you're not seeing fire and smoke from an explosion, correct?
Can we start heading towards it?
You sure can, absolutely. People are running in a panic around you.
I don't think we can go that way. I don't think I can lead the horses through this crowd.
So we're going to.
You could get to the other bridge. You'd have to go through the southern, almost all the way across the southern side of town, to the other side to get to the bridge.
It's gonna take us a bit
Possible.
longer, but
I don't think we have a choice.
How wide and deep is the river?
How wide and deep is the river? The river is about 100 feet wide.
I'd say we could try to ford it, but one of us might die of dysentery.
I don't think we can afford it in an iron fucking carriage.
No, probably not.
Let's head south.
Guards are running your way with weapons and drawn and their and their uniforms emblazoned with the City Watch logos and stuff. You guys are heading into the crowd with the carriage?
We're trying to head south.
Of course. I will need the person driving the carriage to make a land vehicles check to drive this carriage.
What is a land vehicles check exactly?
Well, it's an intelligence check, which you add your proficiency bonus to only if you're proficient in land vehicles.
Because I could have sworn I was, and I don't know if I just didn't put it in D&D Beyond. I also looked and don't know where it is in D&D Beyond, which makes me think that because I'm pretty certain it used to be on my old paper sheet.
I could have sworn you were proficient in land vehicles as well. I think you got that from your background as a guild merchant.
Yes, but I actually looked at it. I was looking at it earlier, and I can't find. It should be, I think, in tool proficiencies.
Yeah, that's where it would be. Yes. We can worry about adding it later. I'm pretty sure you are proficient in land vehicles.
Yeah. So cool.
you can make that check. It's an intelligence check plus your proficiency in land vehicles.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Nick, there's a crowd of people trying to escape from the guards who are running to the scene. that you now have to take a horse through, or not take a horse through, depending on what your inclinage is.
I
What do you want to do?
stand on top of Furia and leap to go on top of the carriage.
You stand up on top of Furia and you leap to the roof of the carriage. Make an athletics check, my friend.
I'd like to reach for the reins of Furia. Wait,
Also,
shit.
That jump's going to be difficult because
Gloves.
I rolled a
They're
7
fine.
for
I'm
my
wearing gloves.
driving.
I wear the gloves. We were going to the city. I was wearing gloves. Athletics 18.
Okay, you pull an epic leap and you jump. Fat Man jumps from the top of the warhorse onto the top of the carriage. It's quite funny to look at. Colin, your 7 is gonna make it so that you're trying to wade through these people, but it's just they're not getting out of the way, and you're not managing to navigate around them. So you kind of just have to sit there and wait until there's a clearing, and then you can move forward 5 feet, and then you sit there and wait until it's clear, and then you move forward instead of navigating around them. The looking behind you, you can see the guards have caught up to your previous position. They are, a little in a huff. They're trying to figure out what's going on. The bridge has been blown up, and so one of them sees you and shouts, and the other guard, he's giving instructions, telling some of them to go that way, some of them to stay here, some of them to check the bridge, some of them to, and then he sends some of them after you. And a small group of guards are rushing your way, and they're halting. They're shouting, "Halt! Halt! You in the carriage! Halt!"
I shout back at them, "It's not like we're going anywhere," and then move forward another 5 feet. And then wait.
The guards do eventually overtake you. They kind of surround the carriage. As the guards come this direction, the civilians that are running amok, they kind of they start dashing to get away from the guards. Some of them are the anarchists that were from the line of people that barred your passage on the bridge, but others are just people who were bystanders that are nevertheless running anyway because they don't want to be. They're already homeless refugees. They don't want to be accused of being anarchists. So everyone's running. Some people are trampling over other people. It's chaos. But the guards do catch up to you. And when they do, they speak to the guy driving. So they look up to Karsus and Adron, and they're like, "What's going on here? What did you see? Were you somehow involved? What's happened?
I think what's
The bridge has
happening
exploded.
Looks like you got a civil war in your hands, my friend.
Gulliver just let us into the town about 20 minutes ago. We know as much as you do. So some people barricading the bridge. Bridge exploded, and now we're trapped in this mob. We haven't been here long, yes, let alone blow up a bridge.
We're just trying to get south so that way we can get out of town.
The one guard that's next to him that says, "It's true. I just saw these people come through the gate. They can't have anything to do with what's going on." Affirming your story. And he says back to him, "How do we know that this wasn't planned? That they didn't show up with the explosives? That the people."
Because what kind of time do you think we had to sit and set up explosives secretly with no one noticing in less than 20 minutes?
Make a persuasion check.
All right.
I'll even give you advantage, actually, because that's a plausible explanation, and because the one guard said they just came through the gate, so he's kind of confirming your story.
Lovely of you. Even with a -1, that's a 17.
Says, "All right, but you say you say you saw people blocking the bridge. Do you think if you saw them again, you could ID them?"
They were just, there was random people linked arms standing in front of the bridge, barring us from coming in. And we wanted to cross, they wouldn't let us. And then they looked across their shoulder, the bridge exploded, and they ran.
If you saw them again, could you ID them?
It's very dark.
Ondar question: did Ondar see the guy who talked to them, who approached?
You sure did. And also, Karsus is being suspiciously quiet because he has an eidetic memory.
It's very dark out. I mean, most of the humans that are with us can't really see much, and I was pretty far back.
I don't think I could identify anybody either.
Well then, whether or not you can be of asset to us, you guys are tourists, you're not involved. I think it's best if you come with us to the barracks.
Of course. Fuck.
For your own safety.
Are you going to help take care of our part here?
Yes, we'll help you move inside the walled compound of the barracks until we can get this situation under control.
Will we at least be able to sleep? We have civilians with us.
It's not a 5-star hotel, but we have bunks in the barracks, yes.
Please be careful with the fat man up there. He's currently diseased and very contagious. I wouldn't touch him if you're human.
You brought a contagious, diseased man into our town and didn't notify the guard?
We weren't planning on staying. We were just passing through.
What kind of disease? You know what? You can talk to our healers about it. Just you stay up on that cart. Don't move. And he points to Ondar.
Ondar lies down.
All right. He tells one of the guards to clear the path, and then he tells the other one to lead the way, lead the way into the barracks. And in fact, they do. It takes them some time, but they clear the path to the barracks, and they lead you to the barracks of the town. Now, the barracks and armory is a walled compound within the walled city on the south side of the river. Inside, there are 7 buildings. One is like a keep, basically, a large castle-like building. And the others are small, 6 small, bunkhouses. He opens the gates for you and lets you in to the courtyard of the barracks and armory, where he says, "All right, now that we're safe, I have some questions for you. You guys can hear you can hear my dog whining. You could probably also hear
There's sad dogs in this place.
You can hear the wolf pup whining as well.
Yeah, he hasn't been out in a bit.
Yeah, he sure has. You can also hear the wolf pup whining as well, and he says, "We're gonna have some, you can hear the chaos in the streets is only growing louder. And it seems like whatever started with blowing up the night bridge hasn't stopped at that. Like, that was stage 1 of a multi-stage plan. First things first, the guard says. That one, and he points to Ondar. We need to put him in isolation for everyone's safety. If he's as contagious as you say he is, there's just no question he can't be allowed to.
We're isolating him ourselves just fine. He can sleep out here.
With all due respect, I'm not going to put the safety of this entire city on your ability to isolate him.
What about my ability? If you'll give me just a minute, I can demonstrate my safeguards.
What?
We're not without our uses.
Ondar begins drawing the circle on the ground and casting Tiny Hut.
There is a reason we're going to Silvery Moon. It's not just for fun.
Ondar starts casting Tiny Hut in the courtyard, and he says, "Wait. We need this space as a staging ground. We need to put you somewhere out of the way that is also isolated. If you have your own means of isolating yourself, that's fine. You can use your I don't know what you were trying to do. Draw a ring in the sand. You could do that, but not right here."
Don't touch me and point me where.
He says, he grabs one of the guards named Jim. He says, "Jim, you're going to take... What's your name? Fat man?"
Ondar.
You're going to take Ondar the Diseased. And you're going to take him, find him a corner in the back, behind the bunkhouses, and let him do his thing to isolate himself, whatever magic he was going to do. And Jim nods and says, "All right, this way, I guess, Mr. Ondar." And he, but don't get too close to me. I'll show you where. Just not too close. Do you go with him?
I'll kind of turn. I'll look at a drawn first and be kind of the head tilt, and then I'll just eye contact everyone else and say, "I'll see you in the morning," and follow.
Okay. The guard says, letting out a big sigh. He looks at Adron, and then at Celadine, having had both of them do the talking. Which one of you is the leader of this party?
Well, leader's a bit of a strong word, but I can be the mouthpiece.
All right.
I put my hand over Edron's mouth.
Yeah, maybe I should do the talking, huh?
Tell me, what exactly am I dealing with that diseased man you've brought into my town?
It's only contagious to humans. It is...
In case you haven't noticed, most of us here are human.
Yes. It is pretty contagious. Might be lethal without some pretty severe help. We're trying to get him to somebody who can cure him. He is an asymptomatic carrier.
And Silvery Moon has the cure.
We believe so, yes.
Damn it. Alright, we'll make getting you out of town our top priority, but right now the city's under siege.
From who? It looked like it had a bit of a time with the giants, but...
From the locals who are upset at the leadership making poor decisions.
Well, being a leader is hard, and I wish you the best of luck with your own political strife. But as outsiders, I really feel like we shouldn't get involved. You haven't seen a tiefling pass through here, have you?
Tiefling? In Everland? Ugh, I mean... Have I ever seen a tiefling in Everland? I'd be lying if I said no, but... I could probably count on one hand the number of times I've seen it.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Not recently, that's for dang sure. For that matter, whatever it is you are, I don't think I've seen one of you here before either.
There's a couple of us.
Through, like...
I was gonna say almost all of us.
except for like the Ondar and Gunther and Karsus. Well, yeah.
Well, what? Yeah. All right. What do they call you anyway? And then suddenly the Bella and her daughter and the wolf come out of the carriage finally, and the wolf starts barking at the guard who is a little close to who seems to be getting on the dog's nerves for whatever reason. And he says, "Whoa, you brought a wolf in here?"
Don't worry, he's just a really big dog.
That's not a dog. That's a wolf.
Are you sure? I mean,
Puppy.
he's really friendly.
He's very nice.
I will jump down to the pup and say, and he's such a good boy, isn't he? And I'll go up and start scrooching him. I'll take out the other nice cut of beef, and I will say to the dog, I am so sorry for this. I know you're gonna make fun of me later for this, but please just play along. Who's a good boy? This. I'm so fucking sorry for this. I know. This thing. Look at my good little boy, and I will just scrooch him over it.
Listen, the sooner we get out of town, the sooner we get out of your hair. So, like, honestly, we can stay here for the night, but we really have to get going in the morning.
Well, all right then. Yes, we'll give you some. I'll have somebody give you some bunks, and we'll see what we can do. Obviously, we're a little taxed right now, and we gotta divert a lot of our guards to the other bridge, because if they're planning to blow that one up too, well, that's just. I don't know that we'll be able to deal with that.
Well, don't let us slow you down. I think, tally ho and all that. What do guards say?
I don't
That's more
know,
a cavalry
honestly.
thing, right?
I'm just a member of the militia. I'm just doing my job, and my job doesn't pay me enough to cover this.
If you need a little help, I mean, I happen to be an adventurer. A few of us are.
Yeah? What kind of help could you provide?
Well, for the night, if any of your people get hurt, I can maybe help you stay on your feet.
You're a healer.
A little bit.
Two of our number are.
You've got 2 healers, and you couldn't
Sorry,
fix
we
your
have a lot
diseased man.
No.
Huh. Whatever's wrong with him must be really bad then.
I
Quite.
deal more with like physical injury generally.
Yeah, this is more on the line.
But
of...
he needs to touch a human to pass it, you say.
Yes.
Generally, yes.
He goes over to another one. He says, "Hold that thought," and he walks away for a bit to talk to one of the other guards,
Josh,
leaving you
sorry,
guys alone.
I'm bad at this game.
You're not bad at this game.
Someone
Saying
is,
that.
I'm bad at listening and taking notes and stuff. So somebody at some point said blowing up the first bridge was the first part of the plan. Is that one of the guards?
I said that, narrating what has become obvious, the fact that there is a large commotion going on in the streets. They didn't just blow up the bridge and scatter. It sounds like there's fighting going on in the streets right now. So the bridge going off must have been the first part of a coordinated attack of some kind.
Got it.
And you can assess that just by listening to the chaos in the streets. Nobody's explicitly told you that. But
Got it. Thank you. Sorry for that.
no worries. So you guys are kind of left to your devices a little bit while he's trying to figure out what bunks to stick you in the bunkhouse. You're just in the courtyard of this walled-in barracks, and you're watching guards running about,
Does
gearing
anybody want to
themselves
know?
up, and so on and so forth.
Does anybody want to know what's going on outside?
It'd be nice to know what's going on outside, and if we're going to actually be able to get out of here tomorrow morning, or preferably tonight.
Well, I've got some good news for you, and she'll summon the familiar on her shoulder.
What does your familiar look like?
It is a little fey owl with eyes that match odds.
Aww.
Yes.
Oh, it's
A
the
little-
baby one.
A little pocket owl with eyes that match odds.
Say hello to Hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge the owl.
Karsus smiles and says, "Hello, Hodgepodge."
I'll give him a little scrooch on the head. be a dear and go look around for me, and I'll send him up.
Okay.
And I'll sort of hold onto the pommel of the saddle, and I'll go deaf and blind and let Hodgepodge do a big circle around the city.
Okay.
I'll put my arm, not my arm, but I'll put my hand just on her back to steady her if she can't see.
Sure. As your little owl circles the city and you see through his eyes, you can see from the bird's eye view what Everlyn looks like. And to describe it, just to read the description from the book, it's situated on the banks of a Ravin River. It is one of the North's most active mercantile communities under most cases. It's got a thick stone wall that encloses the city. You knew that. It's pierced at 5 places by 5 gates. Like the spokes of a wheel, broad, straight avenues lead from each gate to the bell market at the city's center. There are usually 2 bridges across the Ravin River, one of which is no longer existing, and there's a lot of fighting going on the southern side of the city, and it seems to be guards fighting civilians. Peering down at the north side of the city, everything seems normal and calm. The streets aren't packed, overpopulated with refugees. Everything seems clean and calm, but there are a few people in the streets who can hear the fighting from the southern side across the river, and they've come out of their homes a little worried, anxiously wondering what's going to happen next. When you look at the other bridge, the dwarf bridge, it's called, you can see that it has been packed with guards who have rushed to the bridge, and there are what look like terrorists with pitchforks and torches on the southern side of the bridge, who look like they're gearing up to fight the guards to take the bridge.
So the instructions to Hodgepodge were to do a big, wide circle of the city. Past, I think, 1,000 feet, I can't really do anything.
Sure.
But the instructions were just do a big scope of the city and then come back to me.
There is the most prominent edifice in the city on the northern side is
100 feet, sorry.
Within 100 feet of you is
After
all
100 feet, I can't actively give it commands.
Sure.
So my commands after 100 feet were just make sure you do a big loop and then come back.
Right. You can still see through
But
his
I can
eyes.
still see. Yes.
You just can't give him commands. Okay.
Yeah.
On the north side of the city, the most prominent edifice in the city is this this gleaming tower. It's a keep of black stone. It looks like basically it's sitting on top of one of the higher knolls in town, so it's like on an elevated hill. And what you see is there's 4 narrow cylindrical towers that are joined together at the center, and they all rise up above the surrounding buildings. There's a dry moat around this gleaming tower that looks like it could easily be filled with water at a moment's notice to protect it. Flying around the tower are several winged cats. Tressim, if you're familiar with them. They're just kind of like all in a huff because of the chaos going on, and they can obviously hear the chaos, so they're all just kind of flying around the tower, excited or scared by the sounds. Beyond that, there's a large market that's closed at this time on the northern side of the river, and a large kind of like a guild hall next to the market on the northern side that looks like a kind of like a place where the city elders come to make decisions. All of the fighting between guards and civilians seems to be happening on the southern side of the river, and while they're not quite fighting just yet, there is a small army that's gearing up of civilians with makeshift weapons that are gearing up to take the dwarf bridge from the garrison of guards that have shown up there to defend it. Beyond that, that's pretty much what you see.
And Hodgepodge will come back and land on Ophelia's shoulder. Well, it doesn't look good. Looks like a band of guerrillas, sort of resistance fighters, some kind of uprising. They're definitely they're going for the bridge. 100% they are. No, but there's a lot of guards there too. But I don't know if we're going to be able to cross it in the morning if the guards fall.
Can I take a quick look at Karsus here? Sorry, I just want a quick, does he look...
Give me an insight check.
Yeah. Nat 18 plus insight is... Sorry. Wisdom. Oh, sorry. Insight is wisdom, so it's just an 18.
Well, Karsus is wearing some new duds that he picked up in Olson's hold. In fact, Ophelia picked them out for him. Ophelia, do you want to describe what Karsus's getup looks like right now?
His new jacket is a very dark navy, lined with red. It's got silver buttons and some silver accents on the collar and cuffs. And he's just wearing a pair of simple brown slacks with a sort of a light cream colored shirt underneath it. But other than that, just sort of pretty nondescript.
So he's got the collars of his jacket up, kind of thing, and he's just kind of like, he's got his head down like this, and he's just. There's a lot of people here, and he's obviously trying to make sure nobody notices that he is one of the most infamous archwizards who ever lived. Of course, it's nobody's likely to recognize him thousands of years later, but
he doesn't.
Still
Likely.
He doesn't seem too concerned with the resistance fighting that's going on outside. If anything, it seems like he's pondering the problem of how to get the company across the water with as little trouble as possible.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Sure. In fact, while you're looking at him, he steps over to Adron and says something like, I don't suppose any of you have any magic that could get us across the river.
I got some magic that can get me across the river. I could bring a rope and we could try and
I've got some magic that can make me swim across the river, but not really anything that can help me with
Carriage.
the carriage.
Carriage is a sticking point.
Yes. But
I could control water, but I don't know.
Can you
For
part
how-
the sea?
Yeah, I'm not that.
not yet.
Well, not yet.
We do have 5 horses to make for a lighter travel if we want to give up the cart.
I'd love to not give up the card. I was hoping that we could sell it to fund our adventures when we get back to Silvermoon.
Well,
Honestly, with a cart like this, if we pack everyone into it, we could probably just run straight through the crowds.
I've thought
Assuming
that.
we're not concerned about who we injure in the process.
As long as it's not experiment, Ondot can probably conjure up something that would scare people. out of our way, removing the need to injure them.
Problem is Ondar is elsewhere.
It would also mean
Anyone?
Ondar would need to get close enough to cast it, which puts crowds of scared people at risk.
Anyone who gets close enough to get hurt, I could just heal them as we go, and as long as we didn't hit too many.
Yeah. Ondar is, again, still the problem. You can't heal them if he touches them by accident.
Not to mention, we don't know if he touches the water if it's going to
Poison their water supply?
crazier things.
Cui bono.
Would I know whether or not that was possible? Is that something I would know?
You don't. And it is possible, depending on the disease. If it's a waterborne disease,
Okay.
it's not impossible. You'd have to know more about the specific disease afflicting him, but
Yeah,
nobody.
so we
seems
can't
to know
rule it
very
out.
much.
Okay.
The bridge is still standing. If we
For
just
now.
push on to the bridge and we make our way over it, we're kind of doing everyone a favor, because if we're charging over the bridge, then the people who are fighting it can't set up their explosives.
Are they going to let us do that?
Well, they may not have a choice in the matter.
Here's the thing: is I don't know if they've set up explosives yet, because it looks like they're arming up sort of makeshift weapons, pitchforks, torches, that sort of thing, and looking to charge the bridge. If they had already set up the explosives, why wouldn't they just explode the bridge with the guards on it?
Exactly.
They would have
Well,
already done it.
Karsus points out, they didn't want to let us get on the bridge knowing it was about to explode. Maybe
That's fair.
they actually care about not hurting people or something like
They're
that.
upset with the government, not the people.
And what is the goal? And I'm looking at Karsus, but talking to everybody. They've blown up one bridge. They've left the other one standing. This suggests that there's some coordination, but not enough to blow both at the same time. And if they had the coordination to blow both, they chose not to. Either the goal is to separate the south from the north, but if this is the goal, who benefits from it? If rather the goal is to blow up one bridge but not the others, then someone benefits from this as well. I don't have time to sit and solve this mystery, but perhaps in the meantime, to expedite our expedition, we figure out what the next moves are going to be. You're a smart guy. Clearly you've got thoughts about the situation. What's the next move, Garsus?
They want to take the bridge as leverage so that they can use that to gain political say against their leaders.
Yeah, that's actually my thoughts exactly.
If it's only one of two bridges
Okay.
and they control it, they have a say at the speaking table. We could side with the rebels and help them take the bridge. That might bring an end to the fighting and allow us to get passage in return. If they control the bridge, surely they'll let us across. If we help them.
We could side with the guards, and if they control the bridge, they'll let us across too.
That.
That's
Reverse.
also
We don't want to
Possible.
get involved in politics. We just want to leave.
Problem is I don't know if we're going to leave without some sort of deal being made.
Doing nothing is a choice as well.
Just letting it happen.
Isn't this city controlled by the Harpers? Somebody said that. And
That's
isn't
actually-
Ondar a Harper?
That's a fair point.
Seems to have no recollection of the Harper's connection with the city.
That's another fair point.
Whether or not he remembers, can't we use it just the same?
We need to use
Oh.
something.
I'll go over to the head guard.
Sure. Or the one you've been talking to, or the head guard. You know, the head
one
guard.
that we've been. The one
The
that
head
we've been
guard
talking
hasn't even deemed you with his presence, but
to. Yeah, the one
No.
that we've been talking to.
sure.
Gulliver?
Yes. No, not Gulliver. He was the guy at the gate. But yeah, the one you've been talking to. He says yes. Sorry, I walked away for 2 seconds, but then I got dragged into other conversations.
That's fine. I have a I actually would need to see our friend who you just carted away.
Ondar, the diseased one.
Yes.
Yes. About that, it
He has
seems
something that's very important on his person.
It seems there are other things at play here that we weren't quite aware of until a moment ago. Are you, in fact? I notice you travel with a wolf. Are you, in fact, the company of the Grey Wolf?
Some of us are.
Then that Ondar that's diseased is Ondar Havenbluff.
Yes.
There are people looking for him.
Those who harp?
Yes. They're very interested in him, and in fact, I've been instructed to hand him over to them.
Well,
I'm not sure I'm willing to do that, given he's a contagious disease waiting to happen.
If you could inform those who harp that Ondar is to be handled by non-humans, that would go a long way.
Very well. I think it's best if you stay with Ondar. You are non-human, right? You're an elf, I think, though I've never seen an elf quite like you.
Half human, actually.
Oh. Well,
But-
what about the blue one that you're traveling with? She's definitely not human, right?
Funny story. Though I am probably the best, I do know to keep my distance from him.
All right.
And I do have a connection to the Harpers myself.
I will take you to Ondar, and then we will arrange sending both you and Ondar to speak with the Harpers. What's the rest of your party up to? Have they... Oh, right, I was supposed to show them to their bucks. I haven't done that yet, have I?
Yes.
I'm sorry, it's been a crazy night. Things are happening. Alright, well, come with me, I guess. You guys see as the guard who had been talking with Ophelia leads her away, she went to go get him, and she ended up going off with him instead of coming back with him.
Can I follow? Can I go with them? Is that an option?
Sure, you can run after them. Things are chaotic here. Nobody's going to stop you. People are busy enough with a million problems right now. And it's not like you were barred from traveling around the compound.
A bard.
Yeah.
I'll probably stay with the cart and everybody there, Bella, such and such.
Sure. Bella's daughter speaks up to her and she says, "Mommy, what's going on? Are we in trouble? Are we in danger here? Are we safe?" And she's like, "Of course you're safe, honey. Don't worry. Remember the angel. You saw the angel, right? He told us to come with these people. We're safe with them. I promise." And then she looks at you after promising her daughter that she's safe with you, almost like with the unsaid words in her eyes are, it's all right that I can promise that, right? Like that's a promise that I'll be able to keep, right?
I'll look to the daughter and just nod and say, "We've got you protected. We're going to figure this out."
I'm gonna tend the horses, but I'm
Sure.
keeping an eye on the guards in the area, and if they start looking like they're heading off, the local militia is gonna go off and do something.
Well,
I'm
guards are
ready to
coming
go
and
for
going, right? Like guards are coming into the barracks when they're injured. Others are gearing up and going out. Some guards are there's a couple of guards that are. It's kind of chaotic right now, but people are coming and going.
But if a large number of them all go at once, then something's happening, and I want to be where the things that are happening are.
Of course. The guard that was speaking with Ophelia leads Ophelia and Gunther, who's trailing a little bit behind, leads them both to Ondar, who you see sitting inside his tiny hut, and he's surrounded by not one, but 3 guards who are all equipped with heavy crossbows that are loaded and pointed directly at Ondar.
Pointed at the hut. The hut is
pointed at the hut. Sorry, not directly at Ondar. So you can't even see Ondar. You just see the hut. The 3 guards with their heavy crossbows are pointed at the hut.
I'll sort of knock on the top of the hut.
The guard that was leading Ophelia says, "Don't worry, it was just a precaution," and he tells his men to stand down. You knock on the hut.
Onda, can I come in?
Hey guys, I can recast.
I mean, I can always, if you just say that I can come, or no.
No, that's tiny hut doesn't work
The
that way.
whole point of tiny hut is it doesn't let things in.
That's
So
fair.
he'll drop it.
The hut spell ends and it drops down, and you see Ondar sitting there.
The fat man on there still.
The fat man Ondar, yes.
Can we have a moment?
Gunther catches up at this point. Sure.
ask
He
the
says,
We're not going anywhere.
The guard nods and says, "Sure," and then they give you some space. They take 3 big steps back, but they stay within eyesight. They don't go around the corner or anything.
Hi. Bit of a problem.
Other than the problem.
Yeah.
Do you know why Atron said that anyways? I thought we were going low key.
I thought so too. Didn't quite work out that way. Problem though, your bosses are looking for you. The Harpers. Though I'm pretty sure you don't remember the Harpers or working for them.
No, I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe just because I've been missing? I haven't checked
I'm
in?
guessing so.
Okay.
Yeah,
That-
you
that
might
would
be in a
my
little bit of
initial
trouble.
guess.
Apparently, they were looking for the company, the Grey Wolf, and Ondar Haven left specifically. A little bit shy on the details.
That's kind of the point. But yeah, we're heading to Silver Moon anyways. I was going to check in.
Well, it looks like they want you now.
Okay, did they say where?
I think they're coming to you. Well, us.
So I still don't see what the problem is.
I don't know. It just. The fact that they're looking for you specifically and they have a great interest in you doesn't necessarily bode well.
And you know these guys better than we do. What's the protocol in such a situation? One of the agents has been possibly compromised, perhaps diseased, maybe putting other people in risk. And we know that they've put a great interest in finding you and gaining possession. What are they up to?
They wouldn't know yet that I'd been compromised, so I don't know if that would be the reason. Like, I was going to report in for that very stuff about having Sven's control. And, you know, I remember our journey. I remember passing through Silvermoon. I remember checking in Silvermoon with the Harpers. There's nothing I can think of that would make that questionable.
Did you have, and you don't need to answer this, but if you had an assignment in those woods, would it be as simple as collecting you to debrief?
I think the assignment in the woods was not for the Harpers.
Well, there was Sven's influence there, but I went to the High Forest and was going to the High Forest even before because I met with Lady Elestrial, as I told, I think, everybody.
Who's Lady Elestrial again?
Elestrial
Felia's literally
Silverhand.
asking.
Yeah, Lady Elestrial Silverhand.
Don't know.
She was the leader of Silvermoon and a great renowned harper herself.
Oh.
when I was in Waterdeep, I was summoned and had an audience with her. She told me about the cultist gathering and told me about the potential to have Karsus revived. And I was to go investigate and see how far along they were.
Maybe it's to report in then?
Probably. Again, I checked in Silvermoon and they hadn't heard from me for 2 months, so maybe they're just looking to establish if I had been lost, killed.
Co-opted by a mind flayer?
I don't see how they'd know that, but they'll find out soon.
We have to assume that... Look, you know that you were going to connect with them as soon as possible. And we must assume that they would know that about you. You're a good agent. You're a good man. You know that you would have checked in. So what is the benefit of them putting out the word that you were to be captured on site and delivered to them?
You're putting words in even, I think, the messenger's mouth. They didn't say captured, right? They just needed me. And it seemed to be of urgency. Now, we've already learned that stuff has happened while we've been away in the High Forest. There has to be more information we don't have. Something else that makes it urgent. But again, that doesn't necessarily make it bad. So...
I think caution is probably better than not. I'd prefer to go with you if I could.
Depends what the conversation's about.
The guards, the lead guard, the one who's been friendly to you up till now, he kind of...
Till now?
Up till now, you know. He kind of steps forward and says, is this, have you had a chance to talk? We need to... You know, I'll be honest, it's not every day that I get told to hand somebody over to the Harpers from... Let's just say it's not someone that I'd want to keep. They're not a group that I want to keep waiting.
My friend, as I mentioned, our man is ill. He's got a contagion that spreads by contact, and as his physician, I should be his one to administer the ointment, and I will pull out just...
You're a human, are you not?
As I said, as a physician, we've taken an oath. We must heal for our own good. I would recommend that I and my nurse be there as a handoff to make sure that this contagion is handled properly.
Well, you can come with, but whether or not you're going with him is up to them, not me. Come along.
Appreciate it.
And he kind of leads the three of you, guards in front of you and guards behind you, as you lead the three of you out of the back corner where Ondar was hiding into the courtyard. At this point, Celadine and Adron, you guys could see what's happening. You guys could see Ondar being led along with Ophelia and Gunther into the courtyard. And you see a group of other armed individuals that are explicitly not guards. They don't look like the rest of the militia, but they are armed individuals. You know, come into view from the keep where they were previously, and they're escorted by one of the guards. A high-ranking guard, and the two groups come together and they meet, and the high-ranking guard says to the guards that are escorting you, they say, "Is this him?" And the guard nods. "This is Ondar Havenbluff in the flesh," gesturing to the fat man that Ondar still appears to be. An elf steps forward, wearing a little silver harp on her lapel. And she says, "Ondar Havenbluff,
nods.
You could
And-
show us your true face here. You're
Yeah,
among
he was
friends.
just reaching to pull the wood mask off, and he'll release.
Where have you been?
The High Forest with the company.
Let's see. These
Much to
are
discuss.
your friends. Yes, there is much to discuss. In fact, we have to place you under arrest. You're wanted, or we need to question you in connection with the murder of Thwip Ironbottom.
What happened to Thwip?
He's been murdered.
Okay.
And there's evidence that suggests you did it.
Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. You see him like rocking on his heels, kind of just coming to terms with that information, and just don't touch me, and we'll go where you need me to.
The elf Harper steps forward, pulls out a pair of manacles. Says, "Just a precaution." Goes, puts them on you, and then the elf says, "This disease you have that I've been told about, it's only contagious to humans, right?"
According
As
to
far as we know, so it requires constant treatment. I've been able to keep most of its symptoms under wraps, but as I said,
You want to make a deception check?
Yeah, I do.
I was waiting for it.
How would you feel about me using my inspiration? Thanks.
Yes.
Roll it.
Sure. Yeah, Sphinx did grant you inspiration by making you last week's VIP, so...
Natural 19 on the second one.
She says, "Alright, if you have ointments for him, you can come along with us as well. You could show us how to apply it so that we can take it from here." And
Yes.
Yes.
Nurse, you want to accompany me?
I suppose.
The wolf, the wolf pup, whines next to Adron, wanting to chase after Gunther as the three of your friends are escorted away.
I kneel down and say, "Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is going to be weird for a bit.
I'll come over to him too, just to let him know I'm there too.
I'm not going to treat you like you're not one of the party. I know you understand me. This is going to be a weird time being in this city and dealing with the Harpers. It's never normal. So, and our normal is different from everybody else's normal all the time. So, Gunther's gone. You gotta you're gonna have to accept the fact that we're gonna have to treat you like a dog sometimes when you're in town. Welcome to the party, buddy."
Point of order, when Hodgepodge came back, Ophelia immediately dismissed him. Now she's going to make him reappear on Karsus's shoulder.
Of course.
And then I order, take care of them for me, will you, buddy?
He gives a little hoot.
Thank you.
And that's where we're going to draw this episode of The Company of the Grey Wolf to a close. They've made it to Everland, but Everland is not as they left it when they last were here. Kind of a civil war as anarchists are fighting against the local guard to try to get control over the city, control that they feel they lack because the people in power made decisions they don't agree with. Meanwhile, in the midst of this little civil war, the company is just trying to get across town, but that is a very complicated thing right now. And Ondar, who has been the source of so much pain and suffering for the party of late, seems his troubles are not over. They're just getting started. Thwip Ironbottom. That's a name you guys haven't heard in a long time. Guess we'll find out.
I recognize the name, but I don't know why.
I guess we'll find out next week on the next episode of the Company of the Grey Wolf. But I have been your Dungeon Master, Joshua Barbo. You can follow me on Twitter at Joshua Barbo. And I am joined, of course, by Zaid, Rebecca, who you can follow on Twitter at Madam Peasant, Nick, who you can follow on Twitter at Neutral Blend, Anita, who you can follow on Twitter at Panita, and Colin, who is not on social media, but you can catch Colin and the rest of us in our fancy, dancy disco server. Discord server. Where we love to interact with the rest of you between episodes. And we also do some amazing in-character chats. I have a feeling there will be some this week. There's also an opportunity for those of you that are subscribed to vote for your favorite VIP, which clearly came in handy this week because Gunther needed that inspiration so that he could lie his pants off. If you like our character art, it was made by the gorgeous Hitsy. Gorgeous and talented Hitsy. You should definitely give her a follow on Twitter. Her Twitter is at Hitsy with 2 eyes and an underscore. The link is in our chat. And beyond that, you know what? Things are just ramping up for this season. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do next. Until next time, keep good company.
Keep good company.
Yes.
Good company.
Bye.